Welcome to all the devotees who have come from far distances, all the way from USA, Peru, Costa Rica, Yamuna Jivana. Welcome. It's already a Berlin guy. Vaidyanat, Argentina. And so many others. I offer my most humble obeisances under the lotus feet of my spiritual masters, because they have taken care of me in so many occasions, and they are manifesting so much kindness and grace in this planet that I simply like to express my gratefulness to them by trying to serve them to whatever little capacity we have and get enthusiastic on the path. Because utsaha nishtaryat tat karma pravartana jano sangasato vrite sadbir bhaktir prashidyate. We need enthusiasm for the divine. Enthusiasm is very important. If we don't have enthusiasm, we become lax. We become careless. Enthusiasm is the greatest gift we have. Enthusiasm, it's called utsaha. And that's why we have called our university the Utsa. And by the natives of South America, in the Cauca region of Colombia, instead of saying aho or hayaya, they say utsa. It's their form of expression that let's get going. Let's get going into the direction of love and light. So, therefore I say utsaha is very important. And it is our duty to affect each other with enthusiasm. Regardless how it can be done, enthusiasm is essential. Yes, but there's no reason to cry. What more you want? Your mother. But she follows the principle, who doesn't cry gets nothing to eat. Okay. Enthusiasm, determination, and patience, they are all necessary. So enthusiasm is a contagious element which is coming to us by the process of faith. Actually, faith and enthusiasm, they are very deeply connected, because we are enthusiastic because we believe there is something wonderful. We believe that we can achieve what we wish to achieve. We believe that there is hope for our aspirations. So this enthusiasm, of course, it can also be mundane enthusiasm. So obviously we are talking about the enthusiasm for Janosaka Satovrite, associating with saintly people, following their instructions, avoiding the undesirable association, and finally following the paths of the spiritual teachers. Jano Sangha Sato Vidite. When you practice these elements of spiritual protection, then you are kind of safe. You know, we want to safeguard ourselves because there's so many dangers. So the concept of safeguarding, it is not a fantasy, it is not an arbitrary idea. So we have a protection for safeguarding ourselves. and that is actually doubt. Doubt is there when we find something arbitrary, something questionable, when we don't see the positive results. No doubt, doubts will come to us. But those doubts are simply for testing us. Is it what we want to do? Is it going in the right direction? Are we having the right attitude? We can also doubt about our own behavior. As a matter of fact, our own behavior is very often doubtful. So we have an inner struggle with our own hang-ups, with our anarthas. There's many anarthas. Sleeping too much is an anartha. Eating things which are not offered to Krishna, just because they're delicious, is an anartha. Having sexual relationships or masturbation without any purpose of enlivenment spiritually, it's an anartha. Accumulating money just for my own benefit, that's an anartha. Watching television, that's an anartha. But where is our wonderful 50 years birthday Paramatma? Where are you? Oh. He's hiding. Come here, sit with Ishavasya. Give a cushion for Paramatma. Here we go. So today this young gentleman became 50 years. Half of a century.
Yes, doesn't want you to speak.
So you may sit down there on the cushion. So the struggle is there. There are so many anarthas. There's the anartha of our ego. We want to be glorified. Like if we are not the center somewhere, what do? Well, we just leave. Nobody's paying attention to me. Nobody's discovering me as to be some big show, some big guy, very important. So I'm leaving. They don't deserve my association here. They pay no attention to me. Like that, there's many types of anarthas. So the utsaha, it is connected to the vision of divine. The enthusiasm for the divine and for the service to the divine. We need enthusiasm, we need utsaha. It is a gift which comes to us from those who are enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is something you get when you give to your ideals. You get more enthusiasm if you actually service your ideals. If you put more into it. Even if you have a nice car, if you don't put oil, water, air, and gas in it, it'll get stuck and will not move 1 meter. As a matter of fact, if you don't put water in it, it heats up and goes, the whole motor will be ruined. If you don't have gasoline, it will just not run. If you don't put air in the tires, big problem. So wherever you do, there's problem in this world if you don't do it the right way. So utsahan means to go the right way and to go at a good speed as well. Don't go too slow, but don't go too fast either. Don't go so far that in the curve you fly out of the curve. So the utsahan gift, it is explained by Srila Rupa Goswami so wonderfully. It is a gift of Srila Rupa Goswami who has given this shloka. Bhachovega manasa krodavega Jiva Vegam Udaparashta Vegam Itam Vegam Yo Vishaheta Dida Sarvam Apimam Pritivim Sashishyat Atyahara Prayaschascha. So many instructions, so valuable. Srila Rupa Goswami, in his kindness, he has revealed the one by one, the step-by-step program of spiritual life. And sharing enthusiasm is what we need. Sometimes we need somebody to take us by the hand and say, come on, we go. Really, really, right? Come on. Just come with me, you'll see how wonderful it is. Like some people that don't want to come to the Mela, saying, oh, what's happening in the Mela? Maybe they're going to tell me about all my mayas. I think I better stay home. And then somebody comes and says, stop this. We need the association of devotees. We need to see the drama. We need to hear the music of the great devotee musicians. We need to be in contact with the message of love of Krishna. Utsaha nishtadhyattarya tatat karma pavartana. Yes, to follow. We follow the footsteps. We avoid the unwanted and we accept the wanted. Sometimes we have to reject certain things from our life. They are unwanted things. If you are too much attached to your sense gratification, it's a kind of an unwanted thing. If you're very much attached doing things for Krishna, it's very wanted. If you see that people are unhappy by your behavior, you know there's something's wrong with my behavior. And if your spiritual master is unhappy with your behavior, that's a very bad indication. Because last but not least, we are trying to make him happy. Because when he's happy, then more mercy from Krishna will flow to us. So therefore we have to decide. I will give up the unwanted thing and I will accept the wanted things. And you know the wanted things are always a little bit less tasty. You know, there's the material pleasure which gives you some excitement, some enjoyment in the first moment and a very bad thing afterwards. And then there is those activities which are a bit painful in the beginning. You have to get out of your lethargic condition, your whatever, and you have to get, it's a little hard, and I'm pains here, and I'm feeling sleepy, and But then, as soon as you go into it, thank you, Krishna. You pulled me out of this no hope condition of my mind. Yes, now I'm with you, now I'm happy, let's go ahead. So this is like, it's sweet, it's a little sour in the beginning, but very sweet in the end. Otherwise it may be very sweet in the beginning and very sour in the end. Sour, bitter. So this is a mode of goodness, a mode of passion, a mode of ignorance. These are well-prescribed processes. So we have to sometimes, like sadhana, it is a little hard in the beginning to regulate ourselves, to have a very strict performance and to be present and to try to help. It's very hard. Especially getting up in the morning from the soft and warm sleeping bag. It's such a nice thing, the soft cushion. It's outside, it's cold. And if you go, how cold is the cold water? And am I supposed to take a shower, or can I take a shower after Mangalarti? Maybe I can go and heat up some water and take a short hot shower. You know, it's not our problem. We don't really care whether you take a cold or a hot shower. But it's important to refresh, to join the spirit of the morning. The morning is very important. Brahma Muhurta. That is a real delight. Brahma Muhurta is the hour of clearance. In that time you think about something Yeah. Okay. I got it. Thanks, Krishna. The same thing you think at midday, and you go, At night, you can't understand it anymore. Not necessarily. Of course, when you come to the night class, we hope you can also understand something, But the morning, the Brahma Muhurta, you are right on. It clicks. Yes. Utsaha. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is gratefulness. Who do I owe anything to? Let's think about it. Who gave me something? Who helped me? Who gives me clarity? Who gives me light? Who gives me service to the divine? What makes me an instrument of divine love? What is there to purify my existence? What is there? And all the things I do I harm anybody? Is there any mistaken behavior that other people will be unhappy and suffer due to what I'm doing? That is, I have to find out very carefully. This is my duty, my divine duty to find out. So therefore, when you're living with people and they are unhappy with you, you should take that as an immediate alarm signal. Like, the fire alarm goes off. Da, 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 da. It's a really nasty sound. Hey, what's happening? I don't like to hear that. There's an alarm who just went off. So when people are next to you and they're really unhappy, you feel, what I said just made them so unhappy. It's not a good sign. I immediately should ask, why are you unhappy? Did I say anything you don't like? Is there something wrong? Do you feel mistreated? Do you feel ignored? We are, in Krishna consciousness, we are very, how to put it, adorable. This is the concept of adorability. My mother is adorable. All women are adorable. Why? Because they carry the burden of mother. And, is it a burden? It's a burden of love, but it's a burden. Women, they carry the burden of love more than men. Maybe some men also carry the burden of love. It's not that they are not allowed to carry the burden of love. It's actually good if they carry the burden of love. But women, the female, they're carrying the burden of love unquestionably. So therefore, they deserve a very special regard. What to speak if they're exemplary devotees and preachers simultaneously? My God. These days we are very happy. We have Krishna Seva here. She's one of the leading preachers in South America, doing very beautiful things there. And she has a very nice Vedic farm there with volunteers and with agriculture. So it's very nice. So we have some leaders here, very, very nice. You can learn from them. Rasadari, she's from Peru. She's just about to start a project in Cusco in continuation with what we have been discussing, starting a Vishnu Priya shelter place, an ashram of shelter for the women. Can you imagine? Giving shelter to women, how auspicious that is. There's nothing you can say about it except glory, glory, Hare Krishna. A shelter place for women who are in need or who want to associate, who want to worship Krishna. Next to the Vilcamaya, the holy river of the Incas, in the sacred valley of the Incas, close to Cusco. That's one of the incredible places. Actually, right on top of her, there's an old Inca ruin. Can you see the Inca ruin from your place? can see it. There's an old Inca temple which was right on top, high. You have to walk up the mountain, a good walk. At least 2-3 hours up the mountain. It's high, very high. And we are next to the most sacred mountain of the whole Aymara culture and Quechua culture, Pachatusan. Pachatusan means the Lord of the Universe mountain. It's like Jagannath. So, like this, there's so many good things, so many wonderful, valuable things, jewels. And in a few days we have Mohana here. She's coming also to visit. She's one of the main leaders of Colombia's Yatra, doing very nice service, taking care of so many temples. She's like a leader, the biggest Sankirtan leader also of South America. So you see, there's a great gift to see how much service is done by some other devotees. So devotees are adorable. If you consider and understand that the devotees are adorable, then you surely do not want to upset somebody who's adorable. Of course, sometimes people are also so obnoxious that they get upset about something they shouldn't get upset about. I mean, it doesn't mean that nobody makes ever a mistake. But if somebody's adorable, even he can make a mistake, then he will check it out, he will straighten it out. It's just a way of loving connections. Just like father and son. Sometimes the son really does stupid things. But sorry to say, sometimes father also does stupid things. Of course, I'm not looking at anybody. It's just the nature of people that sometimes we do stupid things, don't we? Anybody say, no, I never do any stupid things. I'm just transcendental to all these deficiencies. Well, if you are, my respect. If you're just a normal guy with deficiency, then also my respect. Because this is the nature of the struggle of getting out of this material world. But devotees are adorable. So if the women are adorable, are the men also adorable? Supposedly, yes. That's why the man should work as representatives of the spiritual master. As soon as you represent your spiritual master, you're adorable because he represents Lord Chaitanya's sweet will. So if you're representing the sweet will of Lord Chaitanya, you're very much so adorable. So we are looking for that. We are looking for the adorable people. And who are they? They are those who want to serve. Those in one way or another want to serve the welfare of others. Because that is love. Love means to worship. Love is to recognize. Love is to, you see, I have to be grateful and I have to be compassionate. And I have to see who is really someone important in my life. And all those who are dedicating themselves to Krishna, they're very important to me. They are very important. The importance is divided in 3 different categories. That is also explained by Srila Rupa Goswami in the same Upadeshamrita. The chastiches planatibis chadbajantam icha. If somebody is initiated and follows the vows of initiation, I offer my most humble obeisances to him. If somebody is very advanced and you don't criticize anybody, he's a very high level of devotion, then I want to worship him and I want to serve him and get instruction from him, especially, personally, for me. And if somebody chants Hare Krishna, but he may not be so fixed in everything, then I want to give him my hand and help him to come up. Regardless of who somebody is, who has some connection with the holy name of Krishna, I consider them adorable. So that makes it clear. That means you don't have to be blind to everything. You can have some certain power of discrimination, but you have to understand that anybody who has anything to do with the name of Krishna is adorable. So if they're adorable, then adore them in whatever way you're feeling inspired to adore them. Some of them you may feel inspired by speaking very deeply to them about something we need to fix so that our community will be developing more successfully. We have many things to decide. Now our Govinda Vilas, our dear temple president for such a long time, now he's also moving into other fields of his life. Our Prem Kishore is taking up so much responsibility. He needs all the help and support and understanding and devotion of the community so that he's not overburdened. Yeah, it's not easy to be in charge of such a community. Very, very, very beautiful service. Of course, Ishavasya could do the same thing if he wanted to. And so could Darek is a good visionary of how to coordinate things. True. I have no doubt about it. I'm trying to cultivate a new president for Jarikanda, Fattoria della Misericordia. From Berlin I'm trying to recruit. If Krishna wants it, Big job. Italy. A wonderful place. Who else? Radharashyam, he's also temple president quality. He had been temple president here a long time ago. And Gopal? Gopal can be twice temple president. It's just... Which Gopal? Both of them.
Everyone.
Every Gopal. And Lalita Madhava, she's a leader all through and through. Harikatha Ashram. And Paramatma. Incredible capacity he has. So you see, it's not that we are lacking leaders, we're just lacking to accept the leadership. Bali, my God. Goloka, all those who are hiding there. Yes, there's so many leaders here. And we have to. Satya Manjali. Yes, and this is good because when you take up responsibility on behalf of Krishna, then Krishna becomes very, very, very pleased with you. Even if you get lots of trouble in leadership, sometimes there's trouble. I can tell you that very strange things happen sometimes in communities. Really tough. Sometimes it's tough. But life is tough. What can you do? You say, I want a life which is never tough. Well, then you got to the wrong planet, my dear. You took the wrong turn somewhere before. Now you're in the tough place. Now get out of it. Take the instructions of Srila Rupa Goswami. And that means be kind to everyone all the time. Doesn't matter what. Be kind to everyone every time. All the time. Then you get blessed. Then you get energetic. So it is very, very big joy. It's our great joy that Krishna has given us the possibility to take up responsibility on his behalf. That is part of this. That means if you can control the 6 urges, you can become a temple president, you can even become a spiritual master. And initiate people around the world, the shloka says. If you can control the urge of the tongue, the belly and the genital. And the anger. And the urge to speak always. to speak anything which is not so important. No? Talking just like gossiping, criticizing, useless speech. So, if you want to be a successful devotee, then you just have to follow as much as you can this Upanishamrita. It's a very short book, it only has 11 mantras. But in this 11 mantras, Srila Rupa Goswami has said it all. So it's like this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said the whole philosophy in 8 verses. 8 verses. And the whole philosophy is there, everything clear, cut, do it. That's the way it is. Now you have to live according to it. You have to interpret it. This is the most beautiful thing. So I'm very happy that all of you are here and helping me to do this thing now. We have to celebrate the day of that we can serve Krishna from the core of our heart. I simply pray for you to help me, because I'm a traveling mendicant, beggar of love. The only thing I can do is beg. And I'm not begging for myself. I'm begging for Prabhupada and for the Krishna conscious success in Berlin or wherever you are, Sweden, South America, Bulgaria, Poland, wherever you go with Krishna, go with love, make everybody happy. There's a lot you can do. If you say there's nothing I can do, it means you don't want to do. Please don't forget that. Where's the will, there's a way. And that makes life really nice. Like if I go somewhere to open a temple, I don't have any idea what to do. I have no idea to whom to talk. Like when we were traveling in the airplane. We were coming from Las Palmas de Canarias. We were flying to Mallorca. There was a gentleman sitting next to us. And he was looking at us with a curious look. So I started a conversation with him. And very quickly it turned out he had been vegan, he had been doing yoga, but he had never found anything which really touched his heart. So he got more and more enthusiastic. Yes, that's nice, I will. Then when we got to Mallorca, he says, I will visit you with my wife and my child. So you meet a person. Now he's going to be one of the people very deeply involved in the family in Mallorca. He's a shipbuilder. Very nice gentleman. So heart-touching. Everyone. When his wife and his child came, they were just dancing. In the beginning, she didn't want to go enter in the temple. She says, what is this? What is it? Where have you taken me? Huh? And before she left, she was dancing with the kid. Oh, this is great. Huh? This is amazing, And if you go somewhere you don't know, Krishna will make you, he will let you meet somebody. Just when we came from Mallorca, just before we entered the airplane, they took us to Santani. And Santani, there is the best temple I've ever seen of Krishna consciousness. It's such a beautiful place. They have deities Gornitai, they're making yoga programs, they have many plants. The devotees who live there, I couldn't believe it. I said, what is this? After 30 years in South America, in the center of town, we haven't gotten such a nice temple they got. Really, it was like Krishna arranged it for them. Like every little detail, always Krishna arranges something. You never know. You never know what's next. You never know what Krishna's plan is, but he does have great plans. And I tell you, he has great plans with you. But you have to get your show together and do it the way Krishna wants it. Now, how does Krishna want it? He wants it the way you can do it. He doesn't want anything you can't do. Krishna is not silly. He doesn't want you to lift a ton and break your bones. He wants you to carry what you can carry, but he wants you to do it when you can do it, if you want, if you have submission. So in south of Germany, you may do wonderful things. In Colombia, you may do wonderful things. In Switzerland, you may do wonderful things. Why not? Or you may just come to Berlin and do wonderful things here, you know. We are not even attached over one place over another. No. And sometimes, you know, people think, oh, why we are not all together here in the temple and all day doing the same things. It's very simple, because Krishna needs so many things. He wants Dinabandhu to have another high-class preaching center for the Indian community, to prepare them. Or maybe get some good yoga students in his fantastic Bhakti Yoga embassy. My God, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I said, what is this, more opulent than the temple? So, why not? And how many people, when you come there, also there's another thing, it says, nobody is a saint in his own village. So sometimes it's good you go to another place. But you have to be humble. And you have to be struggling. There is something you have to give also. Now we had one big friend. He always gave us some donation. He had a bread factory. But I could never catch him. Come and do here. Come and be part and make this temple very successful. He sent us much bread, much donation, but he didn't come. Now he's leaving Berlin. We're going back to India. He didn't get the utsaha. He could be one of our top leaders here. Such a bright man, such a great brain. Huh? So like this, you know, in order to get enthusiasm, you also have to do things. You can't wait that everything is being served to you like on a big plate. No, you have to go out and do it. And we have those beautiful people here. I'm saying that I'm not flattering you. I'm not flattering you. I cannot flatter you. Because you're just too wonderful. My words will not be able to describe it even. Because this is the nature of a Vaishnava. He's a very precious jewel. Maybe there's some impurity still to brush off and to polish a little bit. Krishna will make that. And the sadhu is trying to polish a little bit. Hey, come here, please. Polish. Careful, no? As if you cut too much, break the jewel. So it's like that, you know. So we have to give, we have to put some input that Krishna can empower us. Definitely Krishna can empower us. Definitely Krishna wants to empower us. He wants to. He has given us so many things. He has shown us so many things. Unbelievable, beautiful things. And the enthusiasm is always the key element. Don't lose your enthusiasm. Follow the path of the stars. If you have any doubt who is a star, just follow Prabhupada. Period. Follow his path. What did this old man do in the ripe age of his 86 years, or 68, sorry. He went out with a bag of books and no money to USA to start preaching. What about that? Are you ready to go to China with a bag of books? Are you ready to do such an incredible thing like Prabhupada did? If you go to Italy, you have already a big, beautiful farm, perfect temple, beautiful deities, fantastic devotees visit. And a few problems. Few hungry cows. So this is the mercy of Krishna, to give us chance to serve. And never become angry with Krishna. Because Krishna has the right to do anything he wants. If he wants to test us, he has a right to test us. If he wants to reward us, he can reward us. It's all up to him. If he wants to take somebody with him, he can take somebody. Sometimes he takes somebody. Everybody has to die. Sometimes he takes somebody right out of our midst. We don't like it. We feel so sad when we lose a devotee out of our midst. Happening? Every day? Every day somebody is dying? So Krishna, what he wants from you? He wants you to be, in football language, to stay on the ball. And pass the ball to somebody else when you're getting in trouble. The ball of devotional service has to keep rolling. That is our principle. The wheels have to keep turning. Doesn't matter what. Somebody dies, somebody is sick, somebody lost his money, somebody was ripped off, somebody robbed, but the wheels have to keep turning. Doesn't matter. Sorry for life. This is the way it goes. The wheels have to keep turning. And Krishna says, the wise man, he doesn't lament neither for the living nor for the death. Whatever you decide, Krishna, life or death, it's up to you. You're in charge. I'll accept it. It's not easy, no? I've had my own problems in this regard. I've had my big days of doubts. People died I didn't expect to die, and I was getting upset with Krishna. And then I started thinking what my gurus had told me. And then I remembered my guru said to me, never suspect that the Supreme Lord has some bad intention with anybody here. Don't think so. Sorry, Krishna. My mind was getting crazy. I was doubting whether your intention have been good with my daughters, like in Argentina. One time, three girls died at the same time. I was going mad. But in the Kurukshetra, 18,000 people died. 18 million people died. So, and Draupadi lost her 5 sons, right? And still she forgave Ashwatthama because of her love. Unbelievable things. The Mahabharata has the whole story, the Bhagavad Gita. You want to read about what culture is? There it is. So I wish for all of you that you really have great enthusiasm. Where's our Sharangu? Not there. Enthusiasm gives happiness. As soon as you have enthusiasm, you will also have happiness. And this happiness so the happiness which we all look for, it's in the sharing enthusiasm with others. Because I know it's the medicine everybody needs. Sometimes you share it by listening to some person. Sometimes you share it by giving some good advice to a person. Sometimes you share it by just touching a person's shoulder. How are you, my dearest? They look at you, your dearest? What are you? What are you saying? Yes, you're my dearest brother and sister. Oh, really? I'm somebody's dearest. I thought that nobody cared for me at all. So, it's little things, you know. Or when you see somebody a little bit sad, quickly get a sweet boy. Huh? Prabhu, I think you needed this. What is it? Don't look. Just close your eyes and open your mouth. Ooh. This is unbelievable. You must have read my mind. I was longing for something really sweet. And the sweet is not the sweet on the tongue. The sweet is that somebody puts a sweet ball in your mouth. That's really sweet. And is that so difficult? Is that so expensive? Simply give your kindness to somebody else. So we will sing a little song for Paramatma, because it is. But before we sing for Paramatma, we have to sing for our new deities called Radha Shyam Bihari. Radha Shyam Bihari is today there. They have made their appearance of coming here. Radha Shyam Bihari.